So first, you talked about the fact that you were supposed to study law, or you wanted to study law, and then you ended up going to study business. How did you come about that decision? I know you talked about your dad saying, "Oh well, if you don't decide to study law, do something that you can still get a job in." So how did you decide that, okay, business is what I'm going to study, and within business, I'm going to focus on marketing and operations? You said, How did you decide on that?
So in high school, I took a bunch of courses. We had to take different electives. So I think business was one of the electives that I took. And again, I really enjoyed it because we learned about so many different things. And I think the thing that really drew me to it was the fact that I could see real life application of the things I was learning. So they were teaching us accounting, which, okay, not that I had much money back then, but it helped a little to understand money. And they taught us different topics. Economics, we learned about like so many things that I was like, oh, this is like really practical. Marketing, all these things that I could see. Okay, I see in real life that these things are actually happening. So I realized that there were so many jobs that could come from studying business. Like there are a variety of occupations that can come from having that business background. And the world, everything is a business, right? So I was like, this is where I'm going to go. I applied to a few business schools. I got into like 3 or 4 business schools across Canada, and Schulich was the one that was closest to my house, so I decided to go to Schulich. And they also had an exchange program, which is one of the reasons. So I went to Thailand for 5 months while I was there, which was another great experience that I had.
Interesting.
Yes. So, and then I didn't go to law school, obviously. So
how did your dad take that?
They actually didn't take it too badly. I think because I already had a job, so they were like, okay, fine. I think my dad probably knew I was not really into law school. I just wanted to go because of that. So, he wasn't too mad. I had a plan in mind, like, okay, I'm going to be a business analyst, blah, blah, blah. And I changed my mind pretty often. So I think he was used to me changing my mind all the time.
That's an interesting point. Because again, depending on the stage in life you find yourself and the things you get exposed to, the more knowledge you get, then it informs what you think you would enjoy doing. So it's normal to have those changes, but it's still important that whatever changes you have or mindset changes, it's still taking you to an ultimate goal, which in your 100%. Case, it seemed like it was like you were on track, even though you had
a few detours, but we still had a goal in mind. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so you mentioned having different internships and research analyst, I think, and then you also did business analyst as internships.
Yes.
What was different about those 2 roles? And if you could share for each of those 2, what is a day in life like? So for someone who's thinking, maybe I want to be an analyst, there are different types of analyst jobs. So research analyst, business analyst, what is a day in the life like? What does that mean?
It was a long time ago. But as a research analyst, I was working at a real estate company actually, and it's called Cushman & Wakefield, and they essentially they do franchising for different businesses. So my client was Burger King, and Burger King wanted to open, I think, a few hundred new locations across Canada. And my job as a research analyst was essentially to research where in Canada they could open those locations. So it was a lot of number crunching. They basically have some high traffic areas, and you see, okay, what is the population of this area, and different characteristics that would make this a good place for a fast food restaurant. So that was my role. It was an unpaid internship, so I don't really recommend unpaid internships, but I did learn a lot, and I was in my first year, so I guess it was good to have that experience on my resume. And yeah, that was what I was doing all summer long, just researching. And then, as you said, the next year, I moved to the Bank of Montreal, and I was working in their technology and operations department as a business analyst. And there, I was on the Oracle database team, and essentially, it was mostly number crunching again and data entry. That was mostly what I was doing. I think as a intern, they don't give you the full business analyst role, but a lot of it was number crunching and doing data entry for the different projects that they were working on. And then the next internship, so I'll say even as a business analyst, your role could look very different depending on what team you are in. So I was on that database analyst team. The next year I was on a business management team, and they basically made sure that the whole TNO, the Technology and Operations Department, was running smoothly in in BMO. So it was honestly very administrative rather than actual business analysis, I will say. So a lot of my role was creating PowerPoints and basically providing recommendations on, do I think this process will work better or this process will work better. And I had a good time there. Honestly, my team was very young and hip, so I enjoyed my time there. And then I graduated, and then I became a full-time business analyst. But that one was extremely administrative, and I was not a fan of that. So after a few months, I was like, it's time for me to go. And I started looking for roles in marketing after that.
So it's interesting because it seemed like, how many years was your undergrad program?
4 years.
So did you have an internship every year?
Yeah.
Until you graduated?
Exactly. So my first year summer, second year summer, third year summer, and then when I graduated,